Week 2 of the Miami Dolphins OTA practices are officially underway, and day 1 of practice this week has concluded, which means we have some more news, notes, highlights, observations, takeaways to go over from today's practice. Now, I do want to apologize slightly because we don't have too much footage to go off of, but what we do have is a lot of news and notes to talk about in this video. So before we jump into that, can you guys do me a favor and comment down below a player or maybe two that you think could have a massive impact on this team right away for next season? Whether it be a rookie, a second-year player, a veteran who maybe hasn't hit his stride yet but could this season, or someone they just signed in free agency. Let me know down below. For me, it would probably be a guy like Jonnu Smith. I think he has all the speed in the world to come in here and add a new dynamic to the tight end room and up the seam threat, can get down the sidelines and make things happen with the football in his hands. I think they got extra dynamic with Jonnu Smith, and I thought, he was a very underrated add to this roster. Another guy I think could have a day one impact on this team is obviously Jordan Poyer, man. I'm excited to see what Jordan Poyer brings coming over from Buffalo, but I think he's going to fit in, quite perfectly into the secondary, who already has guys like Kendall Fuller and Javon Holland and Jalen Ramsey, Kader Kahu, and then you also talk about Saran Neal coming over from Buffalo as well. You still have Cam Smith, the second-round pick from last season. So those are the two guys, in my opinion, that could really make a, quite the impression in 2024. Now that practice is done, we've had a couple of really good plays. Now, the play of the day was one of the last ones. Tua threw a 40-yard touchdown to Taj Washington right over the outside shoulder. It was a great route, a good stack, nice track, and it was, on 7-on-7s as well. So that was huge. Channing Tindall, this dude just pops off the field. The speed, the athleticism, the talent alone. You guys got to keep an eye on of Channing Tindall, man. He has been absolutely electric, and I think once the pads do come on, he's going to be a guy that stands out to a lot of Dolphins fans. You guys might slowly start to fall in love with what he can do to this team, maybe even every day, right? Another guy who's continuing to, look good and make strides, Eric Uzakama, right? This is a guy who looked good last year, but is continuing to build up rapport with the quarterback Tua, continuing to get better and, iron his game out the most he can, right? And he's getting really good footwork, explosiveness. His routes are just really, really crisp right now, and I feel like you could tell when you put on the tape and when you look back from last season and compare it to right now, the dude just looks a lot better, right? I think he's stronger than most DBs. So I think he can make a lot of plays on the outside, go up there, catch a lot of footballs, 50-50 balls, whether it be one-on-ones, or even he can create some situations down the field. So I think he's going to be able to keep defenses honest, but also attract over-the-top help as well when he's out there on the football field. Now, obviously, he's got an uphill battle to be a starting wide receiver with the new OBJ, with Jalen Waddle, with Tyreek Hill, but he's a guy that I think would be such a good plug-and-play starter if need be. I think he adds insane depth and insane versatility to this wide receiver room. And then Chop Robinson, man. I know a lot of Dolphins fans, maybe not you specifically, but there was a lot of them in my comments that just didn't really like Chop Robinson in that draft pick. But I'll tell you what, over the first 2 weeks of OTAs, the man has made a handful of plays, and he's very quick off the line of scrimmage. And the athletic ability jumps off the page pretty much right away. He and Austin Jackson had the most competitive matchup of the day. So definitely keep an eye out on Chop Robinson. Again, he's an edge rusher. We need to find out more when the pads are on. But before we get any further into the video, do me a big favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, and we will be covering the Dolphins throughout the entirety of the offseason. Now, what that means, the rest of OTAs, mandatory minicamp in a week or two, training camp, preseason, regular season, everything you need to know, we got you guys covered, so make sure you guys join the family. Another guy who looked really good in practice as we get back into the video, Nick Needham. I didn't really mention him in the beginning, but this is a guy that, again, I think he's got an uphill battle, but as long as he can continue to, make plays, maybe he's got a shot to get on the football field, right? Now, he looks quick, he looks physical, And, you know, how we see in the game right now looks really good. So, again, I think there's a lot of guys that are starting to stand out a little bit here for this Dolphins team. And I think they're going to only continue to get better as time goes on. And again, with no Hill, Waddle, and OBJ at practice, it gives a lot of opportunity for some of the younger guys to get going. The Braxton Berrioses, the Izukanama, I don't even know how to say his name. Please correct me in the comments down below. I'm just going to call him Eric because I just butchered that so bad. Go ahead, roast me in the comments. But yeah, Malik Washington, Taz Washington, Jaquan Burton. And there's a lot of guys who can really stand out, and I think some of them already are starting to do that. So that is one thing that I've noticed over the first few days of OTAs, especially with those guys not here. And you know what? I think as these guys build chemistry, man, expect them to just continue to get better. Expect them to continue to make plays. And man, you guys are gonna see in preseason, they're going to be making a lot of big-time plays. Mike White, Skylar Thompson got some 11-on-11 work at OTAs today as well. Tua had 2 extended series or extended 7-on-7 sessions. In the red zone, there was 4 touchdowns, a great run of plays from the 35, including a deep bomb to Eric, and the final pass, the 40-yarder to Taj Washington, perfectly placed crosser over the middle to River Craycraft in stride for a big yards after catch play, and most likely would have been a touchdown as well. So a good day of practice here for the Miami Dolphins. Things are going to only ramp up from here, and then once these pads come on, man, once we start figuring out who looks good with the pads on, things are going to get a lot more interesting, a lot more fun here in Miami. So listen, guys, make sure you guys do me a big favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, join the family, turn on post notifications so you guys are notified every time we post one of these Dolphins videos, and hopefully we have more and more footage as time goes on for you guys. But I'm excited. I really want to see what Jalen Wright can do, as well as Patrick Paul. I don't think he'll be a day one starter, but a guy who has a tremendous amount of potential. And then obviously Trop Robinson, maybe he could be a starter on the other side of Jalen Phillips, or as Jalen Phillips starts to get healthy, maybe you plug and play him there. But I mean, they're deep on that edge rusher position. You got Jalen Phillips, you got Bradley Chubb, you got Shaquille Barrett, and now Trop Robinson. So love what they have, love what they're doing, and I feel like over the next few weeks it's gonna get even more interesting here in Miami. Make sure you guys join the family, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications so you're notified every time we post a video. And keep in mind, the rest of OTAs, the rest of mandatory minicamp, training camp, preseason, regular season, going to be covering the Miami Dolphins. So make sure you guys join the family. And we're going to do a film breakdown once the season begins, preseason. We're going to break down film of certain players, mainly the quarterbacks, but also the defense as well. So make sure you guys are here for that, man. I appreciate you guys coming through, and I will see you guys in the next Miami Dolphins update, hopefully tomorrow. Peace.